do you think, babe?
Brought it here in 1976. There's a picture on the wall showing where it was. If anybody knows the layout at Radstock, there were two crossings in Radstock, and there was a theory amongst the local populace that the two signalmen on each crossing worked together, so that when one set of gates closed, the other one's opened, and then when those opened, the other one's closed, which caused particularly on summer Saturdays quite a lot of a tailback of traffic some distance. Anyway, it's a standard Great Western signal box. The raised treads tell you that it's a stud frame, because they only put those on some stud frames. Sorry, it's a twist frame. They only put those on some of the twist frames, and we're very lucky to have this particular one from Radstock. 5¼ inch centres, and I don't need to tell you what the lever colours are for. The instruments, Great Western, largely they designed their own instruments and then sent the design to tyres for each of them, and then tyres did the work of some of the instruments are very much a tyres design, like for example permissive instruments and so on. But these were either built at Paddington, which is where the Signalworks was for the electrics and the telegraph until about 1904-ish. The diagram is it's in the album style. This night. He joined the railway about 1895, and in 1939 he retired. And in that time, I reckon he must have done half the Signalbox diagrams for the Great Western Railway. So you'll very often, if you're into Signalbox diagrams, you'll see AK written on the bottom of them, stands for Albert Knight. And then of course he retired, and then the emergency happened, and immediately they asked him to come back, so he did another 4 years of style, which I tried my best to try and copy in that one, which has had to be redrawn lately. You know, the lead plates work. Great Western used to have, when these frames were originally built, they had a label board that ran down the back of the frames that you could see between the 5¼ inch centres. Several designs of label boards. Some were done like individual tiles, others were done in a strip. And then in which case they would only put the numbers of the levers and the leads for the levers on these plates. And then around about 1904, 1903-ish, particularly when the tappet locking came in, they abandoned that. It was a very inflexible system anyway, and they started putting the description of the levers on the plates as well, which is what we've copied here. When you get down to Froome, there is actually a label board in the Froome box. I was explaining to people as we came along that probably not all of you heard it. We were able to operate these boxes in three modes, and you can see that there are two 1-engine steam staffs in the instruments down the bottom there. We have actually got 3 1-engine steam staffs. The other one's in the shed, and that's for working the broad gauge, which you'll see when we walk down, as an independent single line with an OES staff. But basically 1-engine steam staffs are for you when the place is staffed. There's nobody in the signal boxes. So we can operate, we can give a 1-engine steam staff to a train using the king levers. We can break down the lock-in, have signal lock in both directions, give a 1-engine steam staff to the train, and it can trundle up and down here without the signalman actually being present. During the week, we can operate with a 1-engine steam staff using the other king lever, which operates from the shed basically down to the bottom end for shunting purposes. And again, they don't have to pass signals of danger because we can break down the lock-in. And then the third mode in this signal box is as the one that's working today, where we have 2 signalmen, one down through, one here, linked with the web tunnel. starfish shrimp, which is that enormously heavy, tall thing you can see on the left. We don't, although we have got the hoops up here for doing the exchange, we don't tend to do that because if you've ever been on the receiving end, they can do a lot of damage to human beings and also to carriage windows and things like that. So we simply put the exchange apparatus in for show, really, and never actually ever used it. If you have a look right at the top, you can see the twist bars. What they do is they move these slides back and forward. And then the lock is provided by the plates that go across. On the end here, you can see a restless bay, standard electric wires. The power is done through the back of that. There's on two others who are very Can I give you those?
All right. Here.
Somerset, we've got the Somerset down Thames, the gates especially with these tubes through, because of course the railway replaced them with a grating in later years, stopping kids I suppose crawling through them. We've created those ourselves. The lamps came from Payton South, and I went down there and there were no knobs on them. And when we got them back, one of the Bristol Group meetings one day, I said, is there anybody here can make us up a couple of knobs? And this bloke said, yeah, sure, well, I can do that for you. Anyway, the following month, he appeared with these two beautiful knobs, and they were in a sort of a dirty grey metal. So I said, what's this, Duralin or something like that? No, he said, it's titanium. He says, the only metal they've got at Rolls-Royce.